The oath I took as an attorney states that it would be unethical of me to dissuade anyone from having faith in the judicial system. I was immediately disturbed by this statement. To me, as a Black person, it seemed like this statement wasn't neutral, that it had an agenda. When the real is, my highest ethical duty is to speak the truth and not spin fiction, especially to my clients. So let's talk about Carmelo Anthony. We're talking about a child who, in fear of losing his own life, defended himself. He did so under the laws of the state, the law of the union, and the laws of nature. The most basic fundamental human right is the right to preserve one's own life against all deadly threats. Justice, in all its facets, is on Carmelo Anthony's side. And what happened in that courtroom was not justice. See, ever since the Emancipation Proclamation, we have been handed a rotating carousel of terminologies to describe the Black experience. These buzzwords are supposed to signal incremental change and growing progress. But I want to know progress to where? Where are we going? Because I can't seem to figure this out. I need a roadmap, a map like what Harriet had in her brain, with a final destination and safe houses along the way. Because even Harriet, and I know, and we all should know, that we won't be able to rest for too long. Not yet. For these safe houses, safe is relative, and time is a luxury that us Black people just don't have. So progress is starting to sound much like stagnation to me. From the Black codes to the Jim Crow laws to voter suppression, mass incarceration, the war on drugs, the school to prison pipeline, redlining, all these syllables just to say you still ain't free. True freedom means having the autonomy to live, to think, and to choose without arbitrary restraints. It means having the absolute control over the movement of your own body without external coercions. Yet, sundown towns still exist in America, and who's doing something about it? In fact, the altercation that threatened Carmelo's life, the one that forced him into self defense, happened precisely because the Metcalf boys arbitrarily constrained his movement. After the Metcalfs and their friends cornered him, Carmelo was physically assaulted. They loudly demonstrated their belief that Carmelo was not free to move and he was not free to exist. Yesterday, a court with a white prosecutor, a white judge, and an all white jury reinforced that exact same belief that Black people aren't free to exist, Black movement is always a threat, and Black lives aren't worth defending. All while feeding us this grand illusion that equality and justice under the law exists. In Batson v. Kentucky, the court ruled that prosecutors cannot use preemptive challenges to strike prospective jurors based solely on their race. This decision was designed to prevent the creation of all white juries through intentional discrimination. But there's an exception. Because if a white prosecutor can convince a white judge that each Black prospective juror struck was not based on race, and the resulting all white jury is just a coincidence, it's just the luck of the drawing, then what? See, where there is law, there has always been de facto practices, especially when those who make the laws are tasked with enforcing the laws. And they're also the beneficiary of the exceptions, the gaping loopholes in the laws. We all should know by now that these laws aren't applied equally. I'm sure we haven't forgotten the numerous Black boys and men accused, dragged through the street, beaten bloody, as their executions preceded their verdict. 2 hours to deliberate. I know you guys don't think this is any different. Not because Carmelo didn't come out the courthouse physically bloody. This right here, 35 years, is a racially motivated attack on Carmelo's life. The beneficiaries are the children of those who took their liberty to document the liberties that they extend to Black people. Because in their eyes, their liberty is innate, and Black liberty is only a permission slip, temporary. Let's take a look at the 13th Amendment. It's a legal oxymoron, it's a fallacy, a figure of speech with zero substance. It tries to marry two contradictory reality as if they make logical sense. How can slavery still exist if it has been abolished? To abolish something means to officially put a total end to a system, a practice, or a law. It means the thing should no longer exist in any shape or form. Yet the amendment reads, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall be duly convicted. 35 years to a child who protected his own life is not a punishment. It's not just, it's violence. While there is absolutely nothing comical about this for Black people, I am sure the beneficiaries who redesigned the system found it hilarious. I can practically hear the cunning laughter of the architects who devised the Black codes, the Jim Crow laws, and the endless de facto practices designed to ensure freedom always evades Black people. They made sure that Black men, women, and children could continue to be lynched, gunned down in their homes, their beds, their cars, grocery stores, and churches, with little to no consequences for the bad actors, but 35 years for a child who protected his own life. The subtext of yesterday's verdict is loud and clear. How dare a Black boy defend himself when being attacked? That 35 year sentence is a message to Carmelo, to his family, and to all of us. My message to Carmelo and his family: we are free. No man can give us our freedom. In time, we will operate in that power. Just hold on, be strong. It's not over. And to the rest of us, not every message deserves a reply, but this one right here, is too important to leave unread.